Welcome, everyone. We're about to start the second media conference of the evening with France. We've got Vice Captain Charles Olivon and France Head Coach Fabian Galthie. We will start with the first question, please. Please raise your hand.
Bonsoir.
Good evening, Fabien. Sorry to be starting with this, but have you got any news of Antoine? Well, currently he's in hospital. He's being tested. There's a suspicion of a crack or a fracture on his jaw. I can't tell you more than that. As soon as I have information, if I get further information during the press conference, of course, I will tell you about it. At the moment, I have no news. And I'm staying connected, so just in case. I'm writing to him right now, live.
Next question.
Bonsoir Fabien, Romain Malric pour le Disport.
Good evening, Romain Marie for Lundi Sport. It's a record success this evening with 14 tries, but despite all that, everyone's thinking about the injuries. Some players came off, notably Antoine Dupont. We were all a bit worried. Does this tarnish the evening tonight a little bit for the staff? Well, of course, when one of our players gets injured, we're never happy. We're never happy. We're always concerned, extremely concerned. And indeed, it's not the same thing as if we'd had no injuries. Good evening, Fabien. Pierre Bobin for Canal+, on your left. Are there any other injuries but Antoine? We saw Menuy holding his knee in the first knee. We saw Paul Boudin stay on the ground and leave the field. Can you tell us how they are? At first sight, they're benign injuries. Antonio was supposed to leave the field at halftime anyway. He's hurt his knee, but nothing serious. And for Boudin, he came off and came back on the field. He just did a flip over like you do in table football. He did fine. He got another cap. No, I'm trying to joke because after all, we won. And of course, the crowd here is fantastic. The support here is unique. We'd said it before, and we went through it again. It's unbelievable. There is something irrational about this stadium. So there you are. That's the positive side of things. If you want me to talk about Paul, well, he wasn't able to come back on the field. Hello, Jean-Gabriel Montagne from Le Parisien. Did you wonder about taking Antoine off at half-time like the other players? Oh, I knew I'd get this question. What do you want me to say? You can't change over the 15 players at half-time. And in our program, we'd planned to change 1, 3, and 5 at half-time, and then we were going to rotate the rest of the squad around the 55th minute, because the goal of this game was to give people game time and not have them inactive for a month. So we could say that if we hadn't put Antoine on in the second half, well, yeah, but what can you say? The players and this team wanted to play, demanded to play. You can just ask Charles. I'm asking you, Charles, did you need to play? And is it important for you to play? Yes, I really wanted to play here, Fabien. Everyone was really happy to take part in this game and very happy to win. And was it important for you to get some game time? Well, yes, it's important. It's indeed crucial. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. See, I asked him. Good evening, Cédric Chasseur for Europe 1. Similar question, unfortunately, but on the field, how did you see what happened to Antoine, and how did you react on the field for it not to affect you any more than that? Well, on the moment, there was an interception. I don't know if you remember, so not everyone saw what was happening instantaneously. So everyone was going back towards the post, and we're regrouping as we usually do. And then on the big screen, we saw the images, and as soon as we saw the first image, we understood, because it was late and he was hit in the head. So, of course, it was quite simple for everyone, and we got back into order. We understood that we had to switch over to the penalty, and we decided on our next action without thinking about it too much. These are things, unfortunately, that happen quite often, small or large injuries in games. These things happen. It's part of our job. And we stayed concentrated, and we went forwards again straight away. We don't have the time and space to ponder things too much, unfortunately. Good evening, Fabian. I know you don't like talking about individual cases, but there's a young man today called Louis Bielbiari who played. What can you tell us about the way he played today? Well, I'm looking at the stats right now. It's true he had some space and he got some ball. He was well served. Sometimes he was over served because he almost dropped a try ball. So, yes, obviously he enjoyed himself. He was well placed. The team was able give themselves opportunities all over the field and also on the wings. And on the wings, as you can see, he goes very, very fast, and he's always played good games for us. And that's what he carried on doing. He brought a great response to being selected. Good evening, Fabian. In the game overall, did you enjoy yourself? Oof, oh dear, I always enjoy myself. Every France team game, I enjoy myself. It's the marvelous, it's sublime in this incredible stadium. Sometimes I suffer. Sometimes it's hard, but overall, we always enjoy ourselves. We are aware of where we are and what we're living. So today was special. And the goal was not so much to enjoy ourselves. I think the players' instructions were to play together, to play amongst yourselves and with each other, and to play as a team, and to play accurately, or try to play accurately. That was the goal today. Not to have fun, because if you try to enjoy yourself too much in this game, sometimes you're lacking a few ingredients. Good evening, Simon Farval for Eurosport. Fabien, I'd like your opinion on Damien Penaud's game. We talked about him only playing at 70% of his potential in trying to do simple things, while he can still do amazing things. This evening, I found him better in his basics with well-played two-on-ones, while keeping his aptitude to shine when he has to. Do you see his performance the same way? Well, in terms of the players, I always sit back a bit. If Damien's playing with us, it's because he's part of the 15 best French players. He's one of the best French players on the wing. So if he's selected, it's because he's deserved it through his past performances and through his training. He's got proven potential today, real potential. But at this level, you know, whatever the opponent, it's always difficult. It's never easy. We can all agree that this evening was a particular special game. You know, we haven't scored like this for 4 years. Our previous record was 53-10 at Twickenham. We've had slightly heavy score lines, but never more than that 53-10. So today, I think the players managed to score all of those points because they tried to stay concentrated. They applied themselves and they tried to play as a team. And that's it. So Damien came into this group, into this collective dynamic. Damien and Louis were given space. The interpreter apologizes. He can't hear the question. Four penalties. I'm sorry, you'll have to wait for the microphone. Fabien, the next game is now on the 6th of October. How do you imagine the next few days or the next few hours, the next few days? Of course, taking into account Antoine's injury, is that going to change things as we approach this final pool stage game? Well, already, as you said, the next game is on October 6th, which is in 15 days exactly, 2 weeks plus a day in Lyon. We'll do what we usually do, which means we will assess everyone physically and on the personal level, psychological level, and then we will quickly rebuild our team selection depending on the best players' potential, and it will be the best team possible that will be lined up against Italy. We've already planned the training cycle as we did for all of the first 4 weeks. So we stay here. The players have got 3 days off to recuperate and share with you. And then we'll be spending a game without a game, but with training sessions where we will carry on trying to improve and develop. We're not at the end of our development stage. We're still in our preparation phase. So this week will help us develop in a number of areas. And then the Italy week, so the week leading up to the game in Lyon on the Friday, we will focus on the opponent, which will be Italy. Charles, we talked about discipline. You were very disciplined. You were very careful about everything that you were doing. Very few, 4 penalties given away. Maybe that's a record. Yeah, it's equal to against the All Blacks. Yes, I think it's the same. We played 2 40-minute sessions in a very serious manner. Everyone stayed collective. We were very applied in what we were doing. Everyone wanted to be serious in everything we were doing. So it's great that everyone stayed focused and serious. I think around half-time we were maybe close to 50 points up. 54, in fact. And, of course, then there was the card that came afterwards, and it didn't change our game. So it goes to show the strength of our team in this game. 4 penalties, well, that says something, even if we always want to give fewer away. But 4 penalties over such a game is a really good result. Yes, I'm glad you listened to me. Yes, yes, we're very serious, Fabien. Good evening, Fabien. Camille Macali from L'Equipe channel. Sorry to insist, but really tonight, can you be happy with what's happening with Antoine Dupont? And we saw you looking at your telephone quite a few times. Have you got any further news for us, please? Well, I'll stay on the same subject because I haven't had any news from Antoine. I told you if I had any news, I'd give it to you, and I haven't got any news. Sorry. A question for Charles. You've beaten a record tonight, a record of points scored by a France team and the victory by the most points. Were you aware of this during the game? Did this push you to try even harder? Before the game, no. We wanted to play the game we played this evening, but we didn't think it would necessarily happen this way. We wanted to be serious and applied and concentrate over 80 minutes, and that's what we worked on during the week. We worked with William all week on spaces in finding spaces, and we were effective in that area, and that enabled us to make a difference. And again, this is collective work. I'm repeating myself, but it is this work that enabled us to create spaces out wide. But of course, during the game at 54-0 at half-time, we knew that we'd won, but it didn't change our attitude and our determination on the field. In fact, remaining serious and committed is what brought us this record score at the end. That's the order it happened in. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.